President Trump, and they will move forward, even if it means losing the House in 2020. Let's bring in Marc Thiessen, columnist at The Washington Post. He's also a Fox News contributor. Marc, always great to see you. President Trump not only does he want the chance to confront his whistleblower, which is unlikely to happen, we should add, but he also wants to know the sources for the whistleblower's allegations. If there is a leaker in the White House, shouldn't the president know about him or her?
Well, certainly leaks are illegal, but I don't think that that's what happened in this case, because there was a whistleblower who went through official channels. Now the channels were changed because the channels used to say, as the Federalist reported, that you couldn't report hearsay information to the IG and they couldn't take action on it, and they changed that mysteriously just a couple of months ago to allow hearsay information and secondhand information. But this is a different matter. Now, as for Nancy Pelosi, she has plenty of choices. This is not something that the president forced her hand. They announced this official impeachment inquiry before the transcript came out, before the whistleblower's report came out, on the basis of news reports which said that the president had made a quote-unquote troubling promise. The Washington Post reported, citing 2 U.S. officials, the president made a troubling promise to a foreign leader. Well, there was no troubling promise in the transcript. There was no troubling promise anywhere in the whistleblower report. So he had an inappropriate conversation with the president of Ukraine, which he asked him to investigate Biden. But he didn't make any threats and didn't make any promises, and so that's not impeachable.
A military aid did not come up once in that conversation. So as far as quid pro quo is concerned, it didn't come up. There's no evidence of that. Maybe when testimony comes out on Friday, there's something that was left out or made up. Who knows? It's not in the telephone transcript. That's all we know. How do you think
more than that,
Go ahead.
More than that, Julie, he actually raises in the conversation, his argument for why he held up the aid was that he was concerned the Europeans were not doing enough. And in the transcript actually backs up that claim, because the president said to the Ukrainian leader, the European Union isn't doing enough to help you. And the Ukrainian leader says, I will agree with you not only 100%, 1,000%, and I've raised this with Macron and I've raised this with Merkel, and the European Union should be our biggest supporter, and instead it's the United States.
Well, there was also,
so that, if anything, that backs up the president's claim.
Well, and also the government has every right to withhold funds if they believe that they're dealing with corruption. Why would you hand money over to a corrupt government? And that was also one of the concerns, apparently. How do you think the Dems have handled this impeachment inquiry thus far?
Oh, disastrously. Look, after the Mueller report, we spent 2 years chasing a Russia collusion conspiracy theory that ended up being nothing, and tens of millions of dollars. And after that happened, a Harvard-Harris poll showed that 80% of Americans say they want their congressional representatives working more on infrastructure, health care, and immigration than investigations of President Trump. The Democrats have completely ignored that. And their own focus groups, the Washington Post reported, they had focus groups that found that Americans think that they're obsessed with impeachment and investigation at the expense of their agenda. The way they won the House of Representatives in 2018 was flipping Trump districts by campaigning on kitchen table issues, and now they're focused on impeachment and investigations. They could very well lose those districts. And that's why, by the way, that's why Nancy Pelosi, even though this is supposedly an official impeachment investigation, to be official, it's supposed to have a vote in the House. They're not voting. Why? Because she doesn't want to make those freshman Democrats from Trump districts vote on an impeachment inquiry.
All right, Marc Thiessen, thank you. Good to see you, as always.
Good to be with you.
So as we await the president, we show you a live picture now from Virginia.